The following much too early presentation is oh man, I even screwed that up. The following much too early game is a presentation of Retro Sports Network. There you go. Home of the champions of the past, present, and future. And assuming that most of you are going to be watching this on demand, if you weren't with us last night or Wednesday night in prime time, the Detroit Tigers took a one-game lead in the American League East. They beat the Baltimore Orioles 6-4. Detroit got off to a big start early. They scored 3 in the first. Enos Cabell with an RBI fielder's choice. Larry Herndon with a triple, and then Mike Ivey scored Larry Herndon to make it 3-0 as Detroit got to Mike Flanagan early. But back came the Orioles. Gary Renicky with an RBI single in the second. Then Ken Singleton doubled home Len Sakata in the third to make it 3-2. Baltimore couldn't get any closer than that. They loaded the bases in the seventh. They couldn't score. And then the Tigers took full advantage. After Kirk Gibson singled home Tom Brookins, Lance Parrish slammed a 2-run homer. The Tigers go up 6-2. Baltimore fought back valiantly in the eighth. They made it 6-4. Following an Al Bunbury double and a Rich Dower sac fly, but that was it. The Orioles go down 1-2-3 in the ninth. The Tigers retake the lead in the American League East by 1 with a 6-4 win. As Retro Sports Network presents Major League Baseball 1982. Today, a brunch time opening day special from Memorial Stadium in Baltimore as the Detroit Tigers play the Baltimore Orioles. It'll be Milt Wilcox for the Tigers and Denny Martinez, El Presidente, for the Orioles on a beautiful night for baseball. Play ball here in Baltimore. Well, if you're wondering why we're going so early, I mean, if you're on the West Coast, you're going to have your avocado toast with us this morning. My wife had an appointment this morning, and normally when she has an appointment on a scheduled stream day, that moves things to night. But with it being opening day baseball season, don't want to interfere with that. The Red Sox play tonight at 7 on ESPN. The other game I'm interested in, the Nats and the Mets, are at 1, and so by the time that she gets back from her appointment, I didn't want to have 5 minutes to eat lunch, and so we're going to go and enjoy some Five Guys because that's what you do after going to see your nutritionist. So that's why we're going with the early start today. Anyway, with the game, if you were with us last night, the Tigers took first place in the American League East, and now the Orioles, in the third of this 4-game set, would like to get it back. And we got ourselves, of course, a good one. Denny Martinez for the Orioles and Milt Wilcox for the Tigers. And so let's get right to it. The Tigers at 42-25, the Orioles at 41-26. Game 67, or 68 rather, for both of these teams. Right here on Retro Sports Network. Weather not a factor, 79 degrees, clear skies, and the wind's blowing from left to right at 9 miles an hour. And so we say good morning at Tri-Strand and Baseball Demos, and all you need now is some French toast. I like that. Make sure you're seeing the right screen. All right, so Denny Martinez on the hill. This was technically a Saturday night game. We'll get to why we're doing a night game outside of it being the Tigers and the Orioles as we go through. This is the 17th start for El Presidente. He is 6-6 on the year with a 4.22 ERA. His last start was against the Cleveland Indians. He must have got hurt 5 nights ago because, let me make sure, yeah, he did, because there was no reason to pull him. Only 2 2/3 innings, a walk and a strikeout. So in the overall year, 102 innings pitched, well, 102 1/3, 98 hits, 12 homers, 57 total runs, 48 of them earned. He has walked 42 and struck out 41 to go 6-6 on the year. Here's the lineup he will face. Alan Trammell leads off at short. Enos Cabell is at third again this evening for the Tigers. He'll bat second. Kirk Gibson, the center fielder, will go third. Richie Hebner is your DH. He will bat fourth. Larry Herndon, the left fielder, goes fifth. Lou Whitaker in the lineup tonight will go sixth at second base. Chet Lemon in right will bat seventh. Rick Leach, as someone said, the former Michigan quarterback, will play first and bat eighth. And Fahey, don't remember him, as the catcher. He'll bat ninth. So you get Whitaker, but you don't get Lance Parrish. Defensively for the Orioles, Gary Renicky in left. He's a 4 and a 3. Al Bunbury an 8 and a 6 in center. And Jim Dwyer is in right field. He's a 4 and a 3. Cal Ripken a 5 at third. Len Sakata a 3 at short. Rich Dower a 3 at second. Eddie Murray a 10 at first. And Rick Dempsey behind the plate. He's a 4 and a 6. Good morning, baseball. Bobby Catalano, how are you? Yeah, don't stay off the grid later. That should be a good one. I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully, my wife will be here about 11:30. We can run down and grab it so I can get it set up to watch from the start. I'm looking forward to that. DeGrom and Scherzer. And Rays and Astros today. Braves and Phillies. Red Sox and Mariners. All sorts of good stuff. So let's start the real opening day with a baseball game, shall we? Alan Trammell at 204, 5 homers and 25 RBI. Benny Martinez is ready, and this is how this one starts. Ground ball to Sakata, and Lenny couldn't get it. And Trammell's on with an error. It got under Sakata's glove and into left field, and so Detroit starts with an error. Throw to first, Trammell back. Brings up Enos Cabell at 253, a homer and 20 RBI. The pitch to Cabell is a strike. Trammell tried to go, couldn't get a good swing on it, and it was a check swing for strike one. Martinez delivers. There goes Trammell. Throw down to Dower is not in time. So Trammell steals his third base on the year. And the count is now a ball and a strike to Enos Cabell. Martinez delivers, and there's a base hit into left. Renicky gets it, throws to third. Trammell was going to get third anyway, but that prevented him from scoring. So runners in the corners for Kirk Gibson. At 258, 8 homers and 33 RBI. Baseball demos leg spot Carpenter. That makes one of us. Not sure I feel the same about FP Santangelo. That makes 2 of us. Not a big fan of Bob and FP. When I covered the Nats, I always liked the chances I got to watch or to listen to Charlie and Dave on the radio. They are a good squad. Pitch to Gibson. Ball 4. So the Orioles are in trouble right here in the first. What do you like about Bob? Because the general consensus is that Bob is a bottom-tier announcer. That's just not my opinion. That's awful announcing's fan-based opinion, too. Hebner at 282, 7 homers and 30 RBI. Pitch to Ritchie is the throw actually to first, and Gibson is out. So a snap throw down there, and Gibson is thrown out. Gibby got a little greedy with his lead, and Dempsey just picked him off. Brunch baseball not very good for him either. Murray was sneaking in, and there's one out. So runners on second and third, 1 out, and a 1-ball count to Hebner. Here's the pitch, ball 4. Well, that didn't work out very well now, did it? So they save a run on the pickoff, and here's Larry Herndon at 307. 13 homers and 48 RBI. Martinez delivers, fly ball to right. Dwyer has it for the out. Trammell will tag and score, and it's 1-0 Detroit as Cabell moves on to third. I think he calls a good game. The scorebook is great. You're absolutely right. And, you know, the one thing, I don't know if you're a fan of tater tots, as Dave says, you know, and likes his home run call, we'll see you later. They opened up, I think it was last year, as one of the concessions, a tater tot stand. I love tater tots. And of course, the name of it is C.U. Tater. I like that. Here's Whittaker. He's at 289, 8 homers and 34 RBI. Pitch to Lou is a base hit into left center. That's going to go to the wall. Cabell will score. Hebner stops at third. Whittaker on second. It is 2-0 Detroit. Remember, last night the Tigers opened up with 3 in the first and won. And they have 2 off of El Presidente already. I know you can appreciate a pun like that. I like it. And yeah, Bob's scorebook is excellent. He's in the Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame, believe it or not. Called a lot of Cardinal games over the years, too. Did I tell you that Chet Lemon was hitting .322, 7 homers and 38 RBI? I did now. Here's the pitch. And that's up the middle. Hebner will score. And so does Whittaker on the ground ball up the middle. And it's 4-0 Tigers. And Denny Martinez apparently doesn't have an earned run. That brings up Rick Leach at 207. 6 for 29 on the year with 7 strikeouts. I think the Rocky theme was supposed to be the eye of the potato. That's if Rocky was fighting out in Boise. Dun, 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 dun. Eye of the Friar. Pitch to Leach is a ground ball to Dower. This should end the inning. Over to Murray, and that'll do it. 4 runs on 3 hits and 1 highly costly error. After half of 1 inning, Detroit 4, Baltimore nothing. And so Milt Wilcox gets a huge lead. He's 5-5 on the year at 3.41 ERA. Start number 14 for Milt. Went 7 innings 4 nights ago against the Red Sox and a loss. Went 7 innings, 7 hits, 6 runs, all earned. That's how the Red Sox will beat you. He walked 6 and struck out 3. So on the year, 97 2/3 innings, 92 hits, 40 runs, including 9 homers. 37 of those runs were earned. He's walked 33 and struck out 70. Features a fastball, which will top out about 89. On the lineup he will face, Al Bunbury will lead off in center field. Rich Dower will bat second, then play second. Kenny Singleton returns to his DH role tonight. He'll hit third. Eddie Murray cleans up at first. Cal Ripken will bat fifth. Jim Dwyer, the right fielder, will go sixth. Gary Renicky will hit seventh. Rick Dempsey, the catcher, bats eighth. And Sakata, the shortstop, will go ninth. And Denny Martinez for 27 pitches in the first. I love Gary Thorne, and I've always been a sucker for Jim Palmer. But you know what? Today, because I have a choice now, I'm going to watch the Mets feed. I love Gary Cohen, Keith Hernandez, and Ron Darling. And if you're watching the Red Sox game tonight or the Mariners game, and a happy birthday to the OG who I know is not watching. You have no choice in that because that's technically the ESPN game. Defensively for the Tigers, Larry Herndon an 8-5 in left, Kirk Gibson a 6-6 in center, and Chet Lemon a 5-9 in right. So Lemon with the best arm, Herndon with the best range. Cabela 2 at third, Trammell a 9 at short, Whittaker a 7 at second, and Leach not bad, a 5 at first, and Fahey is a 2 and an 8 behind the plate. He'll lead off the second for the Tigers. Bunbury at 305, 3 homers and 26 RBI. Thorne's best sport is hockey. No question about that. And Jerry Remy is an entertaining listen to. When he feels good, he doesn't pull any punches either. He just has not felt good, and of course his son had that legal trouble. But Remy is a great announcer. Dave O'Brien can induce a nap or two. Pitch to Bunbury. And there's a base hit left side. So the Orioles start this one with a single to left. And here's Rich Dower at 256. 3 homers and 26 RBI. Yeah, Howie Rose was very good as well. did both Islander games and Mets games, and he's still the Mets voice on the radio. He's dropped the Islanders. Pitch to Dower from Wilcox is a ground ball up the middle to Wilcox to Whittaker for 1 over to Leach. That's 2. So a double play, and so it's a 1-4-3. So there's nobody on and 2 out for Ken Singleton, who's hitting .271, 5 homers, and 32 RBI. Got some fan mail wondering why I pinch hit for Singleton last night. Obviously the defensive reason, he's not that great in right field. But against the lefties, he hit .177. And so one of those rare cases where you're looking at the end of the year stats and making a decision based on that. Because you're right, Weaver probably wouldn't have done that. But the set up the Fire or Sensor Retro Sports Network website just really wasn't necessary. Pitch from Wilcox to Singleton is a line drive to Leach, and that retires the side. No runs, 1 hit, the big double play, and no errors. After 1, Tigers 4, Orioles nothing. Remy tried to explain Strat. Wow. It would not be pretty for Rick Manning to explain Strat-O-Matic. Doug Blandville is a huge Strat player, and so is Keith Hernandez. In fact, Keith will go off on the, not go off, but will bring up the game once or twice a year. And Gary Cohen always pretends to be interested. So it's Bill Fahey, 1 for 9 on the year with 2 strikeouts. Denny Martinez delivers. Fly ball to right center. Bunbury's there, 1 out. So none of those runs that Martinez gave up, the computer says are earned. Wow. So after 34 pitches, it's an inning and a third for Martinez. 3 hits allowed and 2 walks, but none earned. I don't know if I agree with that or not. Anyway, Alan Trammell reached on an error, scored and stole the base. He's 0 for 1. Martinez delivers, and there's a ground ball to Sakata on the grass. Long throw to Murray for the out. Glanville was upset when they changed his defensive rating from a 1 to a 2. He didn't agree with the downgrade. I love it when players get involved in it in games. Kurt Schillings had good things to say about OOTP. When you're sitting there on the long stretches when you're not playing, here's Cabell, by the way, 1 for 1. Singled and scored, 2 out. Top the second. Martinez delivers. Fly ball to right. Here comes Dwyer to end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. Inning and a half in the books. Tigers 4, Orioles nothing. You know, why not play? It's a good way to scout yourself or to pass some time when you are not actually doing anything, especially when you know you're spending half the season in a hotel. You've seen all the sights already, and because, depending on the team and depending on the city, you might not want to be seen in public unprotected. Here's Eddie Murray, Eddie at .374. 14 homers and 46 RBI. Wilcox delivers, ball 4. So Murray draws an honest walk. You 2 intentional walks yesterday. And they'll bring up Cal Ripken at .290, 13 homers and 46 RBI. Nobody out, bottom of the second. Yep, this is live, 10:18 Eastern time in the morning. Tigers 4, Orioles nothing. Here's the pitch, and there's a ground ball to Cabell at third. To Whittaker for 1, over to Leach. Can they turn it? Ho-ho, they do. So the pitcher gets another best friend. So 2 innings and 2 double plays for Milt Wilcox. And 2 out for Dwyer at .308 with 8 RBI. Baseball Demo says, Dave says next time a player gets caught stealing, he can pull a D20 from his pocket to show the umpire he was really safe. I could see Glanville doing that. Of course, Glanville's not playing anymore. Here's the pitch to Dwyer. Fly ball to right. Back goes Lemon to the track, and he'll turn and watch it go. And so Dwyer hits a solo shot into right center field. And it's 4-1 with 2 out here. Here's the pitch, and it just kind of flowing out in that direction, and Dwyer just smashed the daylights out of it. So the Orioles are on the board, 4-1, 2 out here in the second. Brings up Gary Renicky at 282, 6 homers and 22 RBI. 10th home run allowed by Wilcox. Here's the pitch. Chopper to Trammell, who gets on his knees, makes a great diving stop over to Leach, and that will retire the side. A great play. 1 run on 1 hit and no errors. After 2, the Tigers 4, the Orioles 1. And show that, well, that's true, Tribe Fin. If you're doing that and you pull out the 20 side, you know, in some of the older players' things, it would be the split card, just like D. Scott Howard had the original. Look, I pulled the 1 out of my pocket. It's a possible catcher's error. Kirk Gibson walked his first time up. Hebner and Herndon to follow. Here's the pitch to Gibson. There's a chopper down to Sakata by the bag at second. Snap throw to Murray. He's not in time. Kirk's got wheels. Remember, Dempsey threw him out at first. His first time up. So base hit for Gibby. 4th hit for the Tigers. And that'll bring up Richie Hebner, who walked and scored. I have the old split cards from the 79 strike game I bought. Never used them. See, we used the split cards in our league, I think through Christmas break, and then someone came back with a 20-sided die. And that was it. Would never use a split card again. Pitch to Hebner. There goes Gibson. The throw down to Sakata is not in time. So Gibby has his 11th steal of the year. He had a 63% chance of that. And they count as no balls and 1 strike to Hebner. Martinez deals, and there's a fly ball to center. Bunbury has it. Gibson goes back to second and will hold for the first out. Larry Herndon. Sack fly to right center his first time up. Got himself his 49th RBI. Why does Strat still use the stupid cards in the PC game when they don't include them in any of the board game? I don't. I think it's more of a comfort thing, and you're assuming that's random. I don't know. Ask them. Baseball demos should not email or mail ID Jester an autographed D20 from Strat. Hugs and kisses, Hal Richmond. Pitch from Martinez. Got him. Herndon looked at strike 3 on an 0-2 pitch. And there's 2 out. First strikeout for Martinez, and that brings up Lou Whitaker, who doubled, scored, and drove in a run in the first. 4-1 Tigers, top the third. Pitch to Whitaker. Got him! He looked like a barn on the side of the road, and so Martinez gets the K. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. 2.5 in the books on this morning special. Detroit 4, Baltimore 1. No, it was not noon. Not noon. No, it's an early game, as I said it earlier. That my wife is at an appointment, and by the time that she normally gets back, it would have given us no really time to eat. If this wasn't opening day, this would have been a prime time game for sure. But it's not. It's a brunch game or a breakfast game for the West Coasters, and so the wife and I are going to Five Guys after, and she gets home, and then hopefully settle back in for the Mets and Nats for the real opening day at 1 o'clock. It'll be Dempsey, Sakata, and Bunbury here in the third. Dempsey at 217, a homer and 14 RBI. Make IDJ strike card, weak power, and heavy strikeouts. And a 5 fielder, that would drive him nuts. 5 fielding shortstop, E88 rating. Here's the pitch. Dempsey chops that one up for a base hit up the middle, past Whitaker, and the Orioles have their third hit. We love you, ID. Hope you're feeling better. I'll bring up Sakata at 241, 4 homers and 32 RBI. Bunt rating here is 10. And the Tigers are playing back. Sakata's going to put one down. Fahey's throw to first, Whitaker covering, and they got him. But the sack works. So Dempsey moves to second, 1 out for Bunbury, who's 1 for 1 with a single. Milt Wilcox threw 2 in the 3rd innings, just 28 pitches through 9 batters. 3 hits, the home run to Dwyer, and a walk. How you doing out, Red Sox fan? Dave's watching on the TV. Give him a 578 E79. Al, by the way, simmed out the season using OOTP 20, and he caught one of my surprises that I called for. I won't tell you which one it is, but let's just say the World Series was an amazing affair. Pitch to Bunbury is a ground ball to Cabell over to Leach for the out, and Dempsey holds at second. I made history making card an exact replica of 2013 Matt Adams. Consider. Yes, but Tribe fan, have you gone on 45, 50-minute rants about a company and still bought the product? Dower grounded into a double play his first time in the first, as a matter of fact. 2 out, 4-1 Detroit, bottom of the 3rd. Pitch to Rich is a ground ball to Leach. He'll take it to the bag himself for the out, and that will retire the side. No runs, a hit, no errors. After 3, Tigers 4, Orioles 1. And of course, ID, I'm just picking on him because we care. It's obviously entitled to whatever opinion he has, and a lot of us share concerns and frustrations with Stratomatic, so he's not the only one. Chet Lemon, Rick Leach, and Bill Fahey drew up for the Tigers here in the 4th. Chet, 2 RBI, single in the 1st. That was the big hit. 4-0, top the 4th. Denny Martinez plunks him. And Lemon is hurt. That pitch hit him in the helmet. And there was some exchange of some looks. There's some tempers going. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Cooler heads prevail, and Lemon just stayed in the box and stared. And so Martinez said a couple words back, but nothing came of it. Here's Rick Leach, 0 for 1. And that's ball 4. So Lemon still barking at Martinez as he goes to second base. So the Tigers are in business here. Nobody out top the 4th. And here is Bill Fahey, who was 0 for 1. I've never heard of Bill Fahey. And he hits this one in the left. Renick's going to dive for it. And does not get it. Lemon will round third and hold. So the bases are loaded again for Alan Trammell. And so through 18 batters, Denny Martinez 3 innings, 5 hits. All 4 runs are unearned. He has walked 3 and struck out 2. I kind of went back and forth on some things. I know that they did not win the division. How big of a lead did they blow? Yes, I do, Dave, unless it's the Red Sox. Always the home team. So they're loaded for Trammell. Here's the pitch. And a liner to left. Renick's there. Here comes Lemon. 31% chance of a double play. Renick does not have a good arm. They're not going to cut it off. The throw to Dempsey is close, but not in time. And so everybody moves up 90, and it's 5-1 Detroit. With 1 out in the 4th. Brings up to Bell, 1 for 2. He has a single and a run scored. Pitch to Enos is a chopper to Dower. They'll take the show out at first in Cabell, and it's 6-1. 8 games, wow. Faith was a catcher for the Rangers in the late 70s. Journeyman for sure, okay. And I just try to be fair with it, because sometimes, you know, next week we'll be doing just one Oriole Tiger game, and I'll be the Tigers. So not playing favorites. Like I said, the only team I'll make sure I run is the Red Sox. That just kind of means that if the Yankees were better and if there was a Yankee game, that I would, if they were the home team, I'd manage them. So just to be consistent. Kind of like calling both the offenses in football. Kirk Gibson is 1 for 1. He has walked, stolen a base, was picked off at first and single. 8 games. Oof. Pitch to Gibson, ball 4. And so Danny Martinez has not pitched well. If you weren't with us at the start, Martinez only threw 2 1/3 innings in his last start. Although injuries don't linger in this game, something's obviously not right. Here's Hebner. He's 0 for 1 with a run scored and a walk. And there's a fly ball to shallow right. Dwyer comes in and that retires the side. 2 more runs for the Tigers on 1 hit and no errors. 3.5 in the books since Detroit 6, Baltimore 1. In September. Holy 2011 Batman. So Singleton is 0 for 1. It'll be Murray and Ripken to follow. And Dwyer on deck. Or Dwyer would be there if someone wasn't there. You know what I mean. Pitch to Kenny, ball 4. So Wilcox throws the second walk of the game. And that will bring up the other man he walked, Eddie Murray. And Murray hits a base hit into right field. Singleton will hold at second, and so the Orioles respond with the first 2 on for Cal Ripken, who promptly grounded into a double play his first time up. Pitch from Milt Wilcox. There's a base hit left side, so they're loaded. Cabell couldn't get there. That ball was in the hole, and Cabell, who just has no range, and they're loaded for Jim Dwyer. So the Orioles, both teams have 5 hits. The Tigers just have the 6 runs to go with it. Dwyer crushed one to right center his first time up in the second. So Wilcox in trouble here in the 4th. Here's the pitch, and there's a little runner down to Cabell. The Whittaker for 1, over to Leach for 2. Yes! And so Wilcox benefits from the 3rd double play turn by the Tiger defense. The Orioles get a run at 6-2, but they get out of it. Looks like Wilcox is going to get out of it without serious damage. Here's Redicky. He's 0 for 1. Pitch to Gary, ball 4. So it brings up Rick Dempsey, who singled his first time up. So the Orioles are trying to stay in this game. 6-2, bottom of the 4th, 2 out. Pitch from Wilcox. There's a liner right back to Wilcox. That's one of those excuse me plays. Please don't hit my head off with the baseball. Got the glove up to retire the side. But a run on 2 hits and no errors. We've played 4. It's the Tigers 6, the Orioles 2. It'll be Herndon, Whittaker, and Lemon. Larry struck out and has a sac fly. He's 0 for 1. Top the 5th. And Herndon hits a base hit into left, and Earl Sakata should have had it. So Earl is pacing around. He's got the Chesterfields out. Lou Whittaker 1 for 2. He's got a double and a strikeout. Martinez delivers. There goes Herndon to throw down to Sakata, and they got him. 55% chance. The Tigers got greedy, and Dempsey threw him out. So an 0-1 count to Whittaker. Martinez pitch right back to Denny, over to Murray, 2 out. So Martinez essentially in relief for himself because the Orioles bullpen just is not that deep, and they had to use Storm Davis for a couple innings last night. Chet Lemon has a 2 RBI single in the first and was hit by a pitch and rattled Denny Martinez in the 4th. This time around, strike 3, throw down to Murray in time. So strike 3 got away from Dempsey, but the throw down was good. No runs, a hit, no errors. Halfway home in this brunch time special, Detroit 6, Baltimore 2. It'll be Sakata, Bunbury, and Dower to face Wilcox here in the bottom of the 5th. Lenny bunted sack bunt in the 3rd. And this time he strikes out. 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed strike 3. The first strikeout from Wilcox. And so through 18 batters, Milt, 74 pitches, 4 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, both earned. He's walked 3, and that was the first strikeout. Al Bunbury is 1 for 2 with a single. Wilcox's pitch, ground ball to Whittaker over to Leach for the out. So 2 quick out for Rich Tower, who grounded into a double play. He's 0 for 2. Baseball version of breakfast at Wimbledon. Well, you know what? It's funny that you bring that up. We'll do Dower first. Pitch to Wilcox, strike 3. So no runs, no hits, no errors. After 5, the Tigers lead the Orioles 6-2. So this actually game was in the middle weekend of the 1982 Wimbledon fortnight. And so most of NBC's resources were in London, of course, for that. And so Baltimore probably did not want to, well, they didn't know that this would have been a first-place game. And so the primary game that week, this first week, was Milwaukee and Boston. And I had that one checked to go because I haven't done Boston. The Red Sox are terrible. The Milwaukee's kind of hanging in there. And then it became apparent that, no, Detroit and Baltimore is what you want to do. There's a chunk of that Milwaukee-Boston game on YouTube. And it's notable not because the Red Sox actually won. Milwaukee put a furious comeback up. But there was a power surge at Fenway Park in the 8th inning. And it knocked out NBC's production truck. And so one by one, the cameras that NBC used failed. And so the top of the 9th, you can hear the director's cut, Harry Coyle, the legendary director, and they're pretty much down to the press box camera to do the inning. I don't know if it's still there or not, but look it up on YouTube. That's from the 26th of June, 1982. Rick Leach is 0 for 1 with a walk. Here's the pitch. There's a ground ball to Dower over to Murray, and that's an out. Yep, you know, I said that my nephew plays Fortnite and sometimes will stream it, and a cousin of mine will play Fortnite and stream it. And so I remember commenting on something and actually spelling Fortnite out correctly and then having to erase it because they wouldn't know what it meant. But I'm old. Bill Fahey is 1 for 2, 1 out, top of the 6th. Martinez is pitching. There's a fly ball to left. Reneke comes in and makes the grab. The kids do all love it. And in fact, it's been banned in several clubhouses, both in the Major League Baseball and the National Hockey League. Banned in Philly and banned in Vancouver. Cramel's 0 for 2. So Martinez has faced 27 batters, 93 pitches, 5 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 6 runs, only 2 earned. Walked 4 and struck out 3. Pitch to Trammell's, ball 4. So much for a quiet inning from Denny. I'll bring up Enos Cabell. He's 1 for 3, singled RBI and a run scored. So anyway, breakfast at Wimbledon would be next weekend for July 3rd. And NBC's choices of games were some kind of terrible. But not to beat the Orioles and Tigers to death. You'll see them next Wednesday in prime time. You'll see the Chicago White Sox and Seattle Mariners from Comiskey Park. That's next Thursday's game. The next Tuesday's lunchtime game is going to be Philadelphia and St. Louis. So that's the schedule next week. But yep, you could always tell when NBC had Wimbledon because you got some clunkers. There goes Trammell. Throw down to Dower, and Trammell has stolen the second base of the game. So Uncle Ron telling a story and forgetting to throw over to try to pick off Trammell. So 1 strike count, 2 out, top of the 6th. Martinez delivers, and Cabell delivers a single to right. Trammell's going to score easily from second, and it's 7-2. That's right. Banned in Philly after Carlos Santana went Keith Moon. There you go. There's a name you don't hear every day. On the TV with the baseball bat. Gabe Kapler applauded that, I'm sure. So Gibby's 1 for 1. He has walked twice, stolen the base, and was picked off first. Martinez delivers, and that's ball 4, and that will do. Well, you know, when you're on a losing streak, as I think Philly was, you got to be focused on the task at hand. And with a lefty up, this is Tippy Martinez's game. We got ourselves a pitching change. 2 outs in the top of the 6th from Memorial Stadium in Baltimore. This is his 18th appearance. He's had 3 or 4 days rest. Last went on the 22nd through 2 innings against Cleveland. Allowed a hit, walked 2, and struck out 1. So Tippy is 3-0 on the year with a save, with a 1.17 ERA. In 23 innings, he's allowed 12 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them on homers. All earned, walked 7, and struck out 19. He got the win in that stint against Cleveland. Comes in with 2 on and 2 out here in the 6th and 7-2 Detroit. Trying to prevent this one from getting away. Pitch to Hebner, ball 4. And so all sorts of walks given up by the Orioles. Here's Larry Herndon. Larry 1 for 2. Single, struck out, and an RBI. You're in the background of my video. Oh, sure, out here. If I didn't want to be on YouTube, I wouldn't be doing any of this stuff. So they're loaded for Herndon. And the pitch, here's a ground ball to Sakata, flips it to Dower for the easy out, and the inning's over. But the Tigers then a run on a hit. And nowhere. It's 5.5 in the books. The Tigers 7. The Orioles 2. It'll be Singleton, Murray, and Ripken. I don't have a drink in front of me. I don't usually do that. But the wife's normally here. So what's Kenny done? He has walked, scored, and is 0 for 1. That's fine. No worries, Bobby. Here's the pitch to Singleton. Line drive, and Whittaker makes a leaping catch. Not considered a great catch, but he saves a base hit nonetheless, and there's 1 out. Eddie Murray's 1 for 1. He has singled and walked. Milt Wilcox sitting pretty, sitting on a 7-2 lead here in the bottom of the 6th. And here's a fly ball to right center. Gibson has it for the out. Here's Cal. Cal 1 for 2. He is singled and grounded into a double play. 2 outs. Wilcox delivers, and there's a fly ball to right. Lemon squeezes it in, and we've sliced through the 6th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 6, it's Detroit 7, Baltimore 2. And I thought Tippy had more than 25 pitches. Thought it said 50. Anyway, he'll face Lou Whittaker, who is 1 for 3. Whittaker has a double, a strikeout, an RBI, and a run scored. And he strikes out. A 1-2 curve, swung on and missed, strike 3. Brings up Chet Lemon. 1 for 2. 2 RBI, single in the first. 7 runs, 7 hits, no errors, and 7 left on for the Tigers. Unlike last night's game when the Orioles had a gazillion chances, 2 runs on 5 hits and an error, and only 3 left on, so Milt has done his job. Lemon strikes out. 0-2 curve, swung on and missed. Dempsey hangs onto it. 2 out. Rick Leach is 0 for 2. He has walked and scored. Tippy Martinez is ready. Ball 4. There's a lot of walks. I forgot to show this. That's the 8th walk the Tigers have drawn today. Denny threw 6 and 5 2/3. And Tippy has thrown 2 in his inning. So here's Bill Fahey. He is 1 for 3. He's got a single. And the lefty will face the lefty. Ground ball to Dower over to Murray at first, and that retires the side. No runs, no hits, and no errors. The Tigers strand a runner. Stretch time here in Baltimore. Detroit 7, Orioles 2. There'll be Dwyer, Renicky, and Dempsey to face Wilcox here in the 7th. Wilcox's pitch, strike 3. Swung on and missed on an 0-2. So Renick's up. Gary is 0 for 1 with a walk. Here's the pitch, strike 3. Wilcox changed speed on that, and the breaking ball got a check swing on a 2-2. And that's 4 for Wilcox. And that brings up Rick Dempsey, who's 1 for 2. Chicada on deck. Here's the pitch. There's a little looper to Trammell, and that retires the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. 7 in the books. The Tigers are looking like they can take a 2-game lead in the East. They lead 7-2. So Tim Stoddard comes in for the Orioles. He's 1-0. Has 8 saves. Has an ERA of .48. This is his 14th relief appearance. He went against the Indians on the 22nd. In a save, he allowed his first earned run of the year. So 3 hits and a run it was earned. So on the year, 18 2/3 innings, 10 hits. He's walked 3 and struck out 11. Can't wait to see what you're done, Bobby, with the video. As a matter of fact, Alan Trammell, 0 for 2, stolen 2 bases, scored twice, walked once, and drove in run number 26. Pitch to Trammell, fly ball to left center, back goes Bunbury for the out. Enos Cabell is 2 for 4, 2 RBIs, run scored, and 2 singles. So tomorrow we'll do it. Man, my voice is shot. Tomorrow, I don't believe the Wakey has any appointments, and so we're going to do the Patriots Challenge at noon. It'll be the 86 Giants and the 2007 Patriots, and because I need to get this, I'd like to not do this on 2 different versions. We're going to play a game Monday night in prime time at 7 o'clock. Patriots opponent to be determined. Actually, time on Monday to be determined. I know who I want them to play, but time to be determined. So there's 2 football games. Patriots noon tomorrow and Monday night. Tomorrow, as I said, it'll be the 86 Giants. Jerry Turner's going to pinch hit for Cabell. Turner looking massively studly in that picture. 233 on the year with 7 RBI. Stoddard delivers, and there's a little blooper that's going to get down in right field for a hit. And so Turner's on with a single. 8th hit from the Tigers. Here's Gibson. They haven't retired him today. He's 1 for 1 with 3 walks and a stolen base. Dempsey goes out to chat with Stoddard. And Gibby hits this one opposite field on the left. Renick's there for the out. 2 out. Posting it in the set. Good for that. So Bobby Carolano, if you don't subscribe to her channel, you should. Be curious to see what she came up with. Now, if it's YouTubers I want to stalk and kill, that's probably not the right thing. But I appreciate being in a Bobby video. Richie's Hebner's 0 for 2. He has walked twice and scored. And he hits a fly ball to right center. Back goes Bunbury, and that retires the side. So 7.5 in the books. Detroit 7, Baltimore 2. Milt Wilcox comes out to pitch the bottom of the 8th. This might be a CG for him. It'll be Cicada, Bunbury, and Dower. Len is 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a sac bunt. Just a few pretty things for now. So Bobby's going to show off, I think, some of her handiwork that she's made. Cicada lines 1 to Whittaker for the out. Now Bunbury's up. So Wilcox threw 27 batters, 7 1/3 innings, 5 hits to home run. The Dwyer solo shot in the 2nd. Walked 3 and struck out 4 in 115 pitches. Bunbury's 1 for 3 with a single. Wilcox delivers. Ground ball to Whittaker over to Leach. And this one's been all Detroit. So Rich Dower is 0 for 3. He struck out and grounded into a double play. It's available. Okay, so check that one out. Bobby, you can post a link. Ground ball to short. Trammell has to hurry. Dowers got wheels, and they got away from Leach. And so it's a low throw and an E6. So that's the first error for the Tigers. 2 out, bottom of the 8th for Kenny Singleton. 10 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Pitch from Wilcox. There's a liner right to Whittaker, and that will retire the side. So Stoddard will start the 9th. We played 8. All Detroit in this one, my friend, 7-2. So Larry Herndon is 1 for 3, singled, RBI, and struck out. 7-2 Tigers, top the 9th. Herndon hits this one into right center field. That's a base hit. And so the crowd remains glum. Beautiful night. Wind blowing in from left at 13, 72 degrees. Here's Lou Whittaker. He's 1 for 4. Has an RBI double and 2 strikeouts. Stoddard's pitch. There's a fly ball to Dwyer for the out. Herndon scampers back to first. 1 out for Lemon. Chet 1 for 3 with 2 RBI and 2 strikeouts. Throw to first. Herndon is back. Lemon has 2 RBI, and I'm sure Lance Parrish is going to pinch hit. So Lemon's day is done. Parrish at 304, 8 homers and 34 RBI. Pitch from Stoddard. There's a liner to left. Reneke's there for the out. 2 out for Rick Leach, who's 0 for 2. Blocked twice and scored once. So this is the last game of week 12. We're halfway through the season next week. And we will do an all-star game from Montreal. Mike Ivey will pinch hit for Rick Leach. Sparky going to his bench. Ivey at 158, 4 homers and 17 RBI. Stoddard delivers. Fly ball to left. Reneke comes in, and that retires the side. And so Milt Wilcox is going for the CG. Let's see. Lynn Jones is in right. He's a 2 and a 7. And John Walkenfuss moves to first. He's a 2. Enos Cabell's day is done. Tom Brookins is a 5 at third. Fahy stays behind the plate. So Brookins at third. He'll bat second if all hell breaks loose. Walkenfuss is slated at 7, and Jones would bat 8. Eddie Murray's 1 for 2. A single and walk. Wilcox delivers, and there's a fly ball to left. That goes Herndon, 1 out. Brings up Cal Ripken, 1 for 3. Singled and grunted into a double play. Morning all, DJ John. It really is breakfast and baseball and breakfast for him. We should be in our regular times next week, noon on Tuesday and Thursday, and our Wednesday 7 p.m. game. Ripken fly ball to left. Back goes Herndon again. 2 out. And so Wilcox is... Oh, and Herndon smashed against the wall. That one traveled. The wind is blowing in. Herndon felt his way on the track and hurt his shoulder. He's going to stay in. I'm not sure the Tigers have a bench left anyway. And with 2 out, that'll bring in Jim Dwyer, who hit that solo homer in the second. Wilcox delivers, and there's a base hit. Gibson fields it in left center. And with 2 out, that'll bring in Gary Reneke, who's 0 for 2 with a walk and a strikeout. So Wilcox is 1 out away from his 6th win of the year. And the Tigers would be hold a 2-game edge in the American League East. Fahy goes to talk to Wilcox. And here's the pitch. Reneke, base hit right side. So the Orioles making some noise. Dwyer goes to third. Sports Time Machine, how are you? And Elias Sosa and you comes in to pitch. No, I was trying to juggle between my schedule, my wife's schedule, and my schedule on opening day. That's why we're early. So Sosa, 2-0 on the year. Not a save situation, of course. He has 2 of those. and a 3.94 ERA. This is relief appearance number 20 for Sosa. Last time out was on the 20th. He's got a week's rest, almost. Went inning and struck out 1. So 32 innings, 34 hits, 17 runs, including 5 home runs. 14 earned. He's walked 11 and struck out 15. And he's really here for a one-batter special. I guess that would be a rookie, wouldn't it? Dempsey's 1 for 3. He's got himself a single. Runners on the corners, 2 out. 7-2 Tigers. Sosa delivers. There's a ground ball to Trammell, and he's not going to get anybody. That took a funny hop, and Trammell took a late jump, and so it's 7-3. Ho, ho, ho. That brings up Len Sakata, who is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Al Bunbury on deck. And Bunbury would be the tying run. Pitch to Sakata. Fly ball, shallow left center. Gibson is there. And the Tigers will win this one 7-3. So, Milt Wilcox gets the win. He goes to 6-5. Sosa gets, well, he faced 2 batters. Denny Martinez goes to 6-7. The walks in that bad first inning again killed the Orioles. They gave up 3 last night and 4 tonight. Jim Dwyer had a solo shot for the Birds in the 2nd, and the Tigers put this away in the 4th with Trammell and Cabell. So Milt Wilcox, I bet, should be our MVP. 8 2/3 innings, 3 earned runs, 7 hits, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts, and he is indeed our Miller Lite MVP. Cabell went 2 for 4 with 2 RBI. Kirk Gibson had 3 walks and a stolen base. So the Tigers hold a 2-game lead. They're now at 43-25. 7 runs, 9 hit, and an error for the Tigers. 3 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error for the Orioles. A busy day in baseball. We'll get to that in a second as we play them out. And we were going to do a doubleheader, but the Cubs decided that they wanted to fall apart because the Cardinals and Cubs did a doubleheader, and that would have been my choice for games, but it didn't work out that way. So the first doubleheader, Cubs and Cardinals split. Cubs took the opener 10-8. Dick Tidrow gets the win, his 3rd, and the Cardinals won the nightcap, or the Twilighter, 8-3. Jim Cott got the win. The other doubleheader was the Mets and the Phillies. Phillies took the first one 4-2. Marty Bystrom gets his first win of the year. Mike Schmidt now has 25 home runs. Phillies sweep the doubleheader. Tug McGraw, you gotta believe, got the win. Neil Allen takes the loss. He's 0-8. And Dave Kingman hit his 27th. Other day games, Minnesota beat Toronto 2-1. Pete, where the Redford grows, gets his first win of the year. Boston beat Milwaukee 7-6. John Tudor goes to 3-8. Dwight Evans hit his 14th homer, was 2 for 3. Houston slowed down Los Angeles 5-3. Don Sutton goes to 3-7. But then no one gains any ground on Montreal. They beat Pittsburgh 8-5. Charlie Lee goes to 8-2. Cleveland stuns the Yankees 7-1. Toby Harrah 2 for 5 with a triple and a double. Reds beat the Braves 5-1. Tom Seaver goes to 3-8. Charlie Huff gets a complete game as Texas shuts out the A's 3-0. San Francisco beat San Diego 10-2. California down Kansas City 8-3. Steve Renko goes to 5-2. Freddie Lynn 2 for 4 with his 10th homer of the year. And the White Sox shut out the Mariners 3-0. Britt Burns goes to 7-4. Tony Bernazard thought he was on stream. He hits a home run. So the only lead within 5 games are now in the American League. California by 4.5 over Chicago. Detroit by 2 over Baltimore. Everything else is over 5. In fact, the Dodgers lead over the Braves is now 9.5. So it is the Phillies and Cardinals Tuesday. It'll be the Orioles and Tigers Wednesday night. And right now we're looking at Seattle and the White Sox on Thursday afternoon. I'm Ron Juckett. Thanks for hanging with me early. Regular times next week in football tomorrow. The 86 Giants and 2007 Patriots. Until then, for Retro Sports Network, enjoy opening day. We'll talk to you tomorrow.